Okay. Frick, I thought I fixed it. There we go. Haha! Bum. 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 Bottom. Bum 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 bottom. Hello! Oh, no. Doop, 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 doop. I want this. Yeah, I want this one. Let's go. Sorry, I was double checking everything. Because I was like, I have to go later in the game to get thumbnails. I'm doing good. I'm excited to continue this game. 22nd of November, 2:46 p.m. Supreme Court of Judiciary Defendants and T-Chamber 5. But yeah, I hope you had a good day, or are going to have a good day. Stream up a lot yesterday, I'm curious now. Yeah, there's a reason. There's a big reason why. Hello! Wow, that went away. Goodness, hello. Can't believe it. I can't believe what's happened. I made it. I defended myself and made it through the horrendous trial. Well, I was waiting for YouTube to load. That's just happened sometimes. Mianoska, you finally pulled it off. Congratulations. Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Cosmo. Ha 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 ha. No, it was a pleasure to watch you at work. So you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place on Yume University Street, don't forget. Good afternoon. All your hard work has certainly paid off. Excuse me, your hard work has paid off. Goodness, I'm so sorry. I thought it was your father. Which I guess I'm gonna move chat like a second than this. Lol. I thought it was her father. Kind of, I'm like, what a manly voice she has. I didn't statement that it just kept going and just kept going and it just kept going and it just kept going and going and going and going and going. Kind of, it's slightly annoying with this thing still being broken. Because if I make it this tiny, this is ridiculous. So, do you guys want chat still to be on screen, or do I get rid of chat for now? It wasn't supposed to be here, it was supposed to be your father. Goodness, why is it still broken? Because YouTube, well, I don't remember, it's either YouTube or it's OBS, one of them won't take my custom things. So we can see what he censored. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I can't fix it, literally. I literally cannot. It's a OBS thing that won't fix. So yeah. Hello. Being so considerate. But hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, whatever voice you put on a character, we're gonna believe it at this point. We've gotten used to it. Oh my goodness. I used to play this game. Oh, I've played the first 3 Ace Attorney games. This one we're finally getting through the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, because I haven't gone all the way through this game and the second one, so have you looked up how to fix it? Yes, I have. It is a new problem, and no one knows how to fix it. So, I can't fix it, the chat, at all, because no one knows how to fix this problem, because it's a new issue. It's a new problem. Isn't that great? Isn't it fun? Anyway, I will just continue. It's fine. Her face is visible.
Congratulations to both of you for proving Naruhodo-san's innocence.
Play first game, and then I'm playing the first game. I play part of this game, and then I'm playing the first game. Well, I wish you luck. Oh, sorry, that was a loud cracking noise. With the first game, sometimes they can be very difficult with what they want. So I wish you luck with that. Our trusted judicial assistant. You worked hard for that result too, you know.
Oh no, I didn't do anything.
Thank you so much. If we hadn't had that research report of Miss Britt's, I don't know how things would have turned out. No, neck did not break. That was me literally moving my neck. The game in your layout, at least the chat covers the empty space. With one hand. Good luck. Well, thank you. Oh, frick. Kazuma. Okay, and I guess I could make them smaller. Technically, I could just make this smaller. And then, like... Okay, we'll put it, like, here. And then we'll take chat. And we'll shove you guys... I don't know. Here? I'll make you guys bigger. But I'll just make you smaller. We're gonna see the new characters soon. Sorry, I'm adjusting this. There. There! We'll put it there for now. Which means... Well, because I'm like, if I'm going to put this somewhere... maybe a little bigger here. Shu has an ancestor. From what maybe? We small. No, you guys big. It's just, you see less of chat at once. No, don't do that. Oh my god. At least you can see the full size of the chat. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, guess who gets to appear now? Since you guys are now in the corner. Did it? Da-da! They get to appear now. Next to the skin. Oh my gosh. Now they're here. Oh my gosh, the height difference. Small Ren is taller than you guys, if that's what you wanted. Anyway, sorry for prolonging this. But yeah, now that it's like this... Well, yeah, that's... I don't change the size of her that much anyway, so we're at this. For Hoodie, it's not fair. You asked for a comparison. Anyway.
Your kind words should really be for my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to the university and investigate.
Your father? Yes, of course. And boop, and boop. And there. Okay, now we're all set now. Alright. Now we can continue.
Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense.
Speaking of Mikotoba... Okay, there he is! Ah, there you are! I believe congratulations are in order. Naruhodo, you did an excellent job. Thank you, Professor. The Sigon's moment here isn't intentional. Yes. It is intentional. What do you mean? My God.
Oh no, it is I who should be thanking you, after all. Your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend.
Good friend? Oh yes, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yume University, wasn't it? What do you mean? You're not a convicted criminal. Yeah, we made it. Woo!
Yes, that's right.
Yes, that's right. Goodness. Professor Mikotoba studied overseas himself. He went to study forensic medicine in Great Britain. Presumably that's when you met Dr. Wilson?
Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital.
Oh, you worked together?
Well, it was a long time ago. Besides, it's your turn, Asagi. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world. In science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in law. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot.
I will. I'll learn all that I can. I swear on this, the spirit of the Sogi clan. You're not taking that sword to Great Britain, are you? Of course I am. A Japanese man's katana is his soul. This blade shows me where I need to go. It cuts down anything that's in my way. Yes, I definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes. That reminds me, what happened to the woman? To Giselle Britt, I mean. After all, she's guilty of murder.
Ah, yes, her. It's not easy to tell you this, but...
What do you mean? Surely she's going to face trial herself now. She's the true culprit, after all.
She will not be leaving Japan in the very near future. She will be leaving Japan in the very near future. For Shanghai.
What? Shanghai?
Jezebel Britt will not appear in court again in this country, I'm certain of that.
What? But why not? I forget who it is. It's a matter of consular jurisdiction. It's a matter of consular... Inspector Hosonoga.
It was a hard-fought battle in court today. Very impressive to watch.
Must congratulate... But what's all this about consular jurisdiction?
We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan.
What? We can't try her? But then, who's going to bring her to justice?
British Consular Court will hear her case somewhere far away where our voices can't be heard.
But why Consular Court?
Professor, I simply do not understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past now that we signed the friendship treaty. Yes, in normal circumstances, you're right. Then, so long as this is not a serious incident of a highly political nature to our respective governments, they can't invoke a consular court just like that.
Oh, can't they?
Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our governments making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on.
Yep. So Miss Britt can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan.
Afraid that for the young student, today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance for her.
I don't believe it.
The British government Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand over custody of Miss Britt. They're obviously taking this case of a foreign student committing murder very seriously.
It's not even technically diplomatic immunity. It's more along the lines of she's a British citizen, so they want to try her because she's a British citizen. So to them, her being tried in a Japanese court doesn't matter to them. I don't know if suing someone is a thing yet. I don't know what the rules are in this time period. Hang on 1 second. It's 1800s double take care of her. Oh my gosh. Duel to the death. Hello. Technically she might, but she might not. It just depends on how the British court decides to deal with the situation. Pretty much they're saying that what happened in Japan doesn't really count. So they have to do an investigation for anything to happen, so it's kind of like a whole thing, from my understanding.
But it's all going to change from now on. We can make it change. This is a time of great turmoil. This new era heralded by the start of the 20th century.
Tease is the ultimate punishment. Oh boy.
One day, I have no doubt, that woman will receive the judgment she deserves.
Yes, change is coming, and we're the ones driving it.
Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for a celebratory drink.
But, Professor... You're right, this is no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Ryanosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun.
In that case, might I suggest La Carnival? As the head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink.
You're a detective, Hosonoga-san, aren't you?
Let's not worry about the details for now. To La Carnival, will you accompany us, Professor? Of course!
Why do you want the frickin'... This isn't the frickin' French Revolution, goodness, we're not chopping off heads.
Of course, La Carnival's food is second to none. I shall go and attend to the paperwork for Naruhodo-san's release.
Oh yes, thank you. Well, I'm not gonna say that she doesn't deserve punishment, but like I said, the assumption is that she's probably gonna be punished in the future, we just won't be able to see it. So Jezebel Brett won't be tried here. I suppose that means I'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. Kazuma. Yes, Ryanosuke? I just wanted to say thanks again, that's all. You really saved my skin today. Ha 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 ha! I didn't do a thing. You were the lawyer in there, weren't you? That defense was all your own work. I don't underestimate them. Human society may have evolved in some ways, but it doesn't always evolve all the time. Why do you think people are not comfortable with change? They don't like it. Your skills made the difference, though. One day, I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world. Oh, you'll be the best lawyer in the world. I'm not so sure about that. I hate people for a reason. Goodness. To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. I couldn't help thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer. Not me. What? Come on, be serious. But if I helped you today, it was only right at the very start of the trial. But you had a natural talent for it. For being a defense lawyer, I mean. Oh no, not me. All that tense verbal combat? I never want to go through that ever again. I did what you told me to do, that's all, because I knew I could trust you. That's the point. Sorry? What do you mean? That's the point. Listen, Ryunosuke. Do you know what the most critical weapon is that a lawyer needs in order to win? Knowledge of the law? Yes. No, that's the ability to believe. To believe? To believe what? Speech level 100? Goodness. Well, hey, you can love humanity and still hate people. It's not like, that's not that's not that confusing of a concept. A defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times. Like you believed in me when I said I didn't do it. I'm human, just like you. I don't have some superhuman ability to know the truth, except for, this going on, but maybe they don't consider that a superpower. I forget to like this room. And answer that question. Is this the first stream? But you have to make a choice about what to believe in and to stick to it when you're defending someone. Oh my gosh. I don't get to choose how the planet decides to... I don't decide humanity's fate. Humanity decides humanity's fate. What do you mean? I'm not judge, jury, and executioner. But being able to remain faithful to what you choose to believe in, even then, well, that's not something that anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person. Believing in your client. Just look at today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with precious, little, real experience, but you never stop believing in me. Well, you face seemingly hopeless situations time and again, but you've never stopped looking for the truth. And in the end, you found it. Through your own efforts, and because you've never stopped believing in me. Thanks, Cosmo. Okay, so I guess Lou's curse has been passed to you. There's something I want to ask you, actually, Ryunosuke. Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me. It sounds serious. What is... you're still here, are you? Oh, Inspector Hosonoga. I've arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go. Thank you. We'll be right there. Don't call me Mom, and I know the joke for that. Yes, of course he's alive. He didn't drink poison. Let's pick up this conversation again later. We should be celebrating right now. Your very first... I hit the button too early. We should be celebrating right now, your first court victory. No, that's just a weird thing to call someone on the internet, to be very honest with you. It's just weird. Sorry, but that's not how I run my streams, so yeah. And your study toward a Great Britain, don't forget. Ah, yes, that too. Right. So my very first trial came to an end. No. Neither. I don't want to be called that. No. It's weird to me. Please don't do that. Well, not everyone has to have a dad. You have someone to take care of you. That's all that really matters. He's either poisoned or on late stage. In a way, he should be still here. Oh, he's still here. I just think he coughs up blood for who knows what reason. Kazuma, Professor Mikotoba, Susato-san, who acted as my assistant, Inspector Hosonoga, who didn't really play much of a part, but still. No, can we stop with the weird naming things? Can we stop with this? Enough is enough is enough is enough is enough. Goodness, enough. No more. It's weird. Alright. It was because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through that trial. Why do you want to call me Pink? There's someone named Pink anyway, so... But more importantly, Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life. The end of chapter 1. Cute at the very least, oh my gosh. Like I said, it's just weird to me, okay? Can we recruit Moonless? Not in this thing. Oh, did I accidentally delete yours? I didn't mean to delete yours, Lou, but it just happened by accident. Alright. Episode 2, The Adventure of the Unbreakable Speckled Band. Yes. Alright. This means two things in Japanese, and one of them is literally just pink. Well, yeah. Anyway, story time.
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air. I raised my dark lantern's shutter, and the room slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The speckled band. I believe this is the terrible coil to which she referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
Okay. Yes, his name is literally spelled that way. 9th of January, 6:37 a.m. on board the steamship Buria.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me. The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle. A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian man then. And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality. This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident, by the victim himself, I would venture. Well, what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait!
Shh. That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
What? Don't be absurd. This is murder. I need cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Who are you, and where have you come from?
I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world. Sherlock Holmes. I presume you must have heard of me.
Sorry, it's one of the bigger budget ones. But yes, his name... yes, his name is actually... Oh. I didn't get to read those. Yes, Sherlock Holmes. I just captured the British accent. Red was right. Yep. But yes, ta-da! But I still have the first letters of Sherlock's first and last name. Yes, I think that's the point. He looks like he belongs in Persona and Ace Attorney. Well, but yeah, so that's our detective. That's our quote-unquote gumshoe equivalent. Whether he's related to Gumshoe, I do not know, but he is the gumshoe of this series. And did you know that Inspector Hosonoga's here too? In the animation? Did you see him? Because he was there too. He was there. Alright. Sherlock Holmes is part of the public domain. There's not even a need to change the name. The team just did because they wanted to. Yep. I think he's related to Emma. Probably. I wouldn't be surprised if he's related to Emma. They are just as obsessed. I think I'm gonna like this detective more than our present one. You will see. Hello, cat. My head is throbbing. What's going on? Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. Wait, I can't move. What the? Why am I in handcuffs? So you wake up now, So you wake up now, We had to drag you out of the wardrobe. I do not believe how you could not wake up. You are a true cold-blooded man. You found me then. We found you and now you pay. Criminal. Criminal. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe, I'd heard the heavy in that animation, sorry. Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Let's see what to find how cold the ocean is, No, I'll tell you everything. There's one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that... Oh, there is one thing I would like to know from you. Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Why did you take his life? Miss Susato. Susato. Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Kazuma?
You pretend to not know? You are a wolf in sheep's pelt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses.
What? Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago. Here, in this very cabin, that was bolted shut from the inside. His body?
Please, do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep.
Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. So yeah, there you go. That's what I meant, that things would change. Family being accused of an oof, and friends accused of oof. Yeah. So yeah. There's the thing that I told you that changed everything. The chapter that changes, well, one of the chapters that changes everything. And these handcuffs. Surely you don't think I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please. No. No! Kazuma, it was just 2 short weeks ago. You're sure about this? Won't you get in trouble? Don't you find it funny being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study? It was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. The way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor. I thought I was gonna die. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less of a man than you look. Hey, honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body. Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. But if you confine yourself to my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you. Gonna be a baby after this case. Yeah, he's not going to be a little baby anymore. He's going to be more mature. Well, I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? Oh, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From our faithful judicial assistant Mikotoba, you mean? From your close friend, more to the point. Surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty by association. It's best that only you and I know about this. I suppose so. Anyway, it's about the time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my travel case, it'll be a breeze. Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it. Stop worrying. I tell you what, why don't you write keep out or something on this piece of paper? What? Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside. I don't know. We've only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England, together.
We leave you at next port. Stay quiet till then. Don't make more trouble for yourself.
Can't have a mentor figure, huh? Yeah, can't have a mentor figure. Murderer? No, I'm not a murderer. Duh, you said it. You said before. You said you'd admit everything about your crimes. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on the ship, but murdering my best friend? No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. Susato-san? Please, tell me what happened. I need to know. Where's Larry, though? I don't know if we have any canonical ancestors of Larry that I know of. At least, like I said, I know up to this point. This is exactly the point where I was at previously. So I know nothing else about other characters. Well, except for the prosecutor, because, yeah. Very well. But there is something I would like to ask of you, too. Ugh, those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. Cosmo's death. He really has been killed, hasn't he? This is just a bad dream? In these handcuffs, they think I did it? They think I'm Cosmo's killer? When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside. What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window, and the bolt on the door can't be operated from the outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls. What? Or to put it another way, the culprit could have only been somebody inside this cabin. Or do you have some other explanation? Yeah, don't we love second case that Ryunosuke gets to work on? And it's his best friend's murder plus a locked room murder. Great. So fun. This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly? Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances? Please, Susato-san, you have to tell me. Pussy's accused again. Yes. The cause of death is still undetermined. They don't know how he died? The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course, he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call. So presumably that means there was no obvious external signs of injury then? That's true, yes. About the incident. Can anyone tell me what actually happened here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Cosmo? Presumably that's something you'd know the answer to better than anyone. Please. Whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all. Well, yes, I was, but... He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin as I have every day so far on this voyage. If the right chain family continues, then I'm worried about the games in the future, especially his daughter. Well, things happen. I don't know. Well, that training was clearly lacking. He might just be self-taught. I don't frickin' know. But this morning he did not come to the door. I could sense that he wouldn't. Does that mean he was already dead when Susato-san arrived at his cabin door, I wonder? I knocked, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. Trauma to grow. I guess so. The crewman forced the cabin door open, and when we managed to get inside... there was Kazuma-sama collapsed on the floor. Writing Russian. Apparently this man is freaking trilingual. He's Japanese, but knows English, and can write in Russian and maybe even speak Russian. Frickin' man, trilingual. Not even just bilingual. Trilingual. I'm in shock. And the white tape there now shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow. I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe. This is all very hard to believe for me, too. Mr. Worldwide. Now I've told you everything I know. It's for different places to avoid racism. Well, it makes sense. Are we sure he can write in Russian? I don't know. It's the assumption. I don't know. It might not be him. It's just a guess. I don't know what his Kazuma's writing style is like, so who knows? Yeah, maybe someone else. It is a possibility. But we're assuming right now that he did write it, until otherwise stated. So it's my turn to ask you a question. Yes, alright. Ugh, my head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything. Stowaway. Why are you even on board this ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, yes. I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time. I had no idea. How could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing? No, that would have been impossible, obviously. Yeah, he just stowawayed on the boat. The boat was leaving and he ran after it and jumped on the boat. And coincidentally found where Kazuma's room is, and then hid in the closet. So the right had a really big crime streak. Yeah. Well, it's kind of just like the Faye family. They're cursed to be in places of chaos. I guess. Yes, of course. Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you? But why? I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Oh, YouTube did let me post it. I don't know. Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you? With more bullcrap than any family has. True. Specifically, Phoenix Wright has dealt with a lot of bullcrap in his life. It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I? That you ought to become a lawyer yourself. Well, yes, you did say that. But I didn't think you were serious. You have a talent for it. I can assure you of that. But I never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then... Then what? Nothing. Forget it. All I can say is pay very close attention in this case for future reference. That's all I can say to what Kazuma says. That's all I'm gonna give hints to, is because there's stuff that will come back in the future to relate to what we need to worry about. Kazuma-sama he was always saying the same thing, that he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you. Yes, maybe. But something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes, then. It was darker than I'd ever seen it before. Susato-san, I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you. My stowing away on the ship, I mean. If I know Kazuma-sama, I expect he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association. Wow, she read his mind like a book. That's exactly right. Yes. Word perfect, in fact, last night. Like I said, just keep stuff in mind. I'm only bringing it up because it's important. If you're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night here in this cabin? Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there, just like I always did. After that, I fell asleep. Fell asleep? Well, yes. Gotta love the internet. Now I'll just look it up on Google. Well, then you're gonna be spoiled. I'm telling you because you don't want to be spoiled. Goodness. So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed? Well, yes. I know it sounds unbelievable, really I do, but it's the truth. If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. Don't call me Pink, that's such a weird thing to do. And for some reason my head's still throbbing like anything. Really? Is something wrong? Oh, no, it's... Please, forget it. Susato-san, you have to believe me. I didn't do it. I'm not gonna ban someone, I'm just telling. I will time someone out if they don't listen. Alright. I really don't want to doubt you, but the truth is, there's no one else who could possibly have done this. First calling you... Oh my gosh. Ugh. Kazuma, I don't understand. Why? Why does this have to happen? Ugh. Can't take this. Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen. Sorry, but Kazuma was killed right under my nose here, and I didn't do anything to stop it. And now I'm supposed to just sit around? My hands tied while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose to do then? Play checkers? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life and how and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. Hiya! Oh yeah, by the way, she's trained in martial arts. What the? That was Susato takedown. Susato what? What martial art form is that? I'm going to need you to prove it. Sorry? Prove it? Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. But how am I supposed to... Have you forgotten already what you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in a court of law. Ah, I see. She's expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. But I don't have any evidence. I have well, I guess this. Named after herself. Yep. I have to get Susato-san to believe me. I'll show her some evidence right now that proves I'm not guilty of this awful crime. Kazuma would stick this over the doors of the wardrobe for me. It says keep out in Japanese, though I'm not sure the Russian crew can actually read it. I'm gonna guess yes! It does. Oh my gosh. Tell me when I was discovered in the wardrobe before. Was this piece of paper stuck over the doors? Oh, yes it was. I remember it clearly. I thought so. Kazuma always put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there. just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decide to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well.
Oh. Yes, of course. The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before he opened them.
But if I were the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the door on my own.
Yes, that's quite true.
In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma. I wouldn't say impossible, but very highly unlikely. Oh my gosh, really, Lou? You're gonna make that joke now?
Well, even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Kazuma-sama thought so highly of you.
Thank you, Susato-san. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up? I don't know. Well, that doesn't mean anything, technically. He's got descendants. Does it mean that he didn't have a relationship? We don't know. We don't know history. We don't know everything. Obviously, he had descendants. Whether that was one way or another, I do not know.
Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating here, at least.
Thank you. So you finally believe me?
I'm sorry. No.
What?
I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position.
I can't rule out that you used some black magic to put the sign magically back on the door. Ooh, ghosts. Oh, if you guys could see my arms, I'm making the funny, like, joke of what you do when you say ghosts, and you just want to apparently tell a lie. What does she think I am, a magician? Well, you have a descendant that's a magician, so I guess it kind of works. Hit her with a shadow ball. Goodness.
For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same.
Alright, let's get to work, Susato-san.
Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts.
Oh.
I shall be watching you to make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example.
Right. Well, anyway, I should make a start on investigating in here, examine everything I can. Kazuma, I swear, I will avenge your death. Alright, I'm going to save real quick, because we went through a lot of stuff. Alright. Examine. Why is there a... What the frick is that? Is that a bone?
Huh. There's nothing on this table at all. The plate and cutlery are all over the floor for some reason.
Yes, it's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still. No, wait a minute.
What is it?
That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all. Quickly threw the notion his best friend has been murdered. Maybe he did do it. Wow. You immediately turn on him? Goodness.
So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazuma-sama.
Well, you and Susato are similar, Lou. Goodness. No. Goodness.
Oh dear, that won't do.
Oh, what's the matter, Susato-san?
Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused I forget to look around properly.
Oh yes, that's not good.
I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naruto-san?
You say it as you see it?
I'm sure you're careful to look around using B and M, aren't you?
Why do you have them all the way over there on the keyboard?
Now let's investigate all corners of this cabin.
Yes, let's do that. I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. Well, I can still just click. Doesn't really matter, but it's nice that that's an option. Seigi, the Japanese word for justice. The brush strokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma.
Yes, his calligraphy always was a reflection of his heart. Yet can you really look at those characters without feeling shame, knowing who drew them so thoughtfully?
Which guy saw her suplex him and said nothing. Yep. Of course I can. I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to?
Even though you stowed away on the ship?
Now you're going to bring that up, aren't you? I can't win. Nope.
That's Kazuma-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it.
Yes, he was always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul. Do we know what the Russian writing in the ground means? We'll probably find out once I examine it.
I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip.
Well, yeah, he's bringing a freaking lethal weapon onto a ship to a foreign country. I think there's many reasons to be worried. Is Susato a love interest? I don't know. I think technically, but I'm not sure.
Bum 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 ba-dum bum.
I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. Oh my gosh, Lou, really? And now he's gone, but I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet. I guess not, but it's just like still kind of wild. That they just let someone with a frickin' full-on katana just walk onto a ship. Let's look at the food. That's my dinner from last night. A roast chicken. It was really tasty.
Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it?
Huh. It's recent? What were the Earth governments doing? It's freaking a sword! It's a sword! It cut off the freaking Pain ancestors' toupee! Or his hair, or whatever. His hair. And that's completely fine, hunky-dory, to just walk on the ship, no problems? No competition. Oh my god.
But did you eat it on the floor here?
I'm not a dog, Susato-san. I ate at the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor.
But Kazuma-sama didn't like chicken at all, did he?
No, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me.
Oh no, does that mean where Kazuma-sama spent his last night on Earth with an empty belly? It's just too horrible.
Ugh, now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach. And in the book Around the World in 80 Days, they went around the world. Wow. How did they fit that in their wallet? Wow. What do you think this is? It looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever that thing is, it appears to have broken clean in two.
The glass is such a beautiful color. Looks like a cute little Netsuki fastener from a kimono outfit.
Big wallets? How big of wallets? Do they mean a purse? I could believe a purse, like Giselle Britt had. Not wallets, my bad. Suitcases, I guess. Okay, that makes more sense. I was gonna be like, wallet? You can't mean the wallet that I think of humans in modern day. There's no way. There's no way. I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this around with him, would he? Oh my gosh.
And the mark beside it. What is it, I wonder? It has a sort of brick-like hue.
Yes, you're right. It's the color of brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the cabin. Those are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Briura.
It's essentially a list of requests from the captain to all passengers on board.
Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. What? Why are you staring at me?
Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet?
Well, does this answer your question of how she looks at Ryunosuke? That's how she looks at him. So yeah.
Yet decide.
Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. The books have fallen over on the shelf. Look, they're all toppled the same way. Oh my god. If he gets married to her, the dominant in the relationship would be obvious. Wow. What do you mean you're glad she'll get married off? What the frick?
And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea? Although he's fallen over as well.
Yes, it's almost as if the whole shelf had been ransacked, and everything mowed down at once.
I wonder if... perhaps it was Kazuma-sama doing his morning sword training, do you think?
I seriously doubt it.
Then perhaps... it was you, Naruto-san, in a fit of rage?
Just to be full of annoying people, wow. Maybe would you rather run from her or to stay? It is actually a possible thing for girls to time Japan. I know, but at the same time, she is not a bad person, so I don't think that's the first thing you gotta say. Goodness. She helped us out in the last case for keeping her innocence, and she's gonna help us in this case with our innocence too, so let's not jump to the craziness that is that. I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. Hello, welcome. Could the way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder?
Well, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess.
Though. Just saying, wow. Well, I'm not saying, like, obviously you shouldn't call someone a pet, but it's like, goodness.
That's a very large traveling case, isn't it?
Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me.
Memories? What do you mean?
Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case.
Ah, yes, I see it says "this way up" in Japanese.
Which, in hindsight, I should have realized the foreign crewman wouldn't be able to read. Ask her to sing. She can't. I don't think she sings. I was turned over and over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here.
Oh dear, being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds.
Well, it was less painful than a Susato takedown. Well, there's less... Well, you're in a box, probably, with all of the space, just all at once, so you know. Did Kazuma write that before he died? It looks like it's written in ink.
He must have knocked the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. But then I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his finger in the spillage.
Because it's not... Well, it's not English at all, with the way that it's written. Because the way this is not... Like, this could be a P, an O, or a D. This is an E. I don't know what this is. So he was a coward. Goodness.
Poor Kazuma-sama. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine it.
Suppose he was trying to leave some kind of a clue in his final moments, was he? Sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing.
I don't think that's Japanese, Naruto-san.
What? Then what language is it?
It pains me to admit it, but I don't know.
It's Russian. How do you not know that it's not? I know that you guys from Japan have just gotten access to the outside world in this time period. But you can't tell me you don't know what this looks like. It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder? I wonder. What could it mean? Hello, but I'll wait till the game reveals what it is. You translated it? Really? Huh.
This is where dear Kazuma-sama would have sat whenever he was writing.
Well, yeah, he did say it was Russian, but I guess they were in shock. London Diary. Poor Kazuma. He didn't even make it to his destination.
Looks as though the last entry is incomplete.
Which means, what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue.
Hiya! That's out of the question.
What?
Kazuma-sama may have departed this world, but you must not read his private thoughts.
Really? You're doing this now? But what if it has something important, something relevant to the case? Wow. I'm impressed. Alright, I won't read it. Sheesh.
Or Kazuma-sama.
I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? Alright.
It's some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruto-san?
I think living isn't quite the right description.
Oh, no, I suppose not. Although it must have been rather exciting, making this voyage in your own secret hideout.
The trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. And last night was no exception.
But because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin.
No, sadly not. Alright, did I get everything? Well, I guess, is that my only thing? Because I can't do... I guess maybe these two things?
This is, yes, it's a Belcourt contraption, I think.
Oh my gosh. What do you mean contraption?
I read about it in a book I was studying that talked about life in Great Britain. Large households often have bell cords like this, which you can pull to ring a bell to summon servants.
Really? That sounds almost magical. Are we just gonna sit here thinking about it? Shall we give it a little try?
Yes, in the interest of cultural research, obviously.
Oh my gosh.
I suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people.
Oh, that's not true. People, they would arrive. I'm just assuming that it's not working. That's my assumption. Don't worry, Susato. No, I'm sure it's just that everyone is busy, that's all. I'm like, Susato, that's... Oh, don't... It's okay. I think, as Ryunosuke said, they're just busy.
I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator. Hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin.
Isn't that a little odd?
What do you mean?
Well, this ventilator, if that's what it is, looks like it must connect to the next door cabin.
Yes, it would appear so. You're right.
But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it should be connected to the outside. Yeah, poor Susato. It's like, it's not true, Susato. It's okay. They're probably busy. Or the frickin' murderer purposely disconnected this somehow.
That's true. Perhaps it's so the rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough, or something like that?
Suppose. Maybe that's it. Oh my gosh. Up. Hi, Herlock. Who's that? He wasn't there a minute ago. As far as I can tell, it looks like he might be European.
Oh, how did he...
You noticed the man too, have you? No, he was not there the entire time. He just appeared. He spawned in. I have no idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious and tall. Suspiciously tall.
Naruhodo-san, don't tell me... Do you really not know who that is?
Well, no, I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. You were worried for a second? Yeah, no, he appeared here, so he must have came in through the door. He doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. I wonder what's unusual about him. You know, he's on top of a desk. Is he investigating Kazuma's desk, or is he just playing on it? I can't tell.
Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him.
Am I just imagining it, or does Susato-san look almost uncontrollably excited?
By the way, I expect that you've noticed already, but just in case, if you press space on people that are in the crosshairs, you can converse with them.
Alright then, I'll get that suspiciously tall gentleman in my sights and see what he has to say for himself.
Oh, please do.
What a weird thing to do. Wow, fourth wall break. Always! Well, let's talk to you first. Perhaps I should see what this Russian crewman makes of the scene of the crime. Excuse me. What? I was wondering how it's going. The investigation, I mean. Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but this is not true, I see. Sorry? The criminal asking investigator for information about this crime. Very funny. Oh, it wasn't supposed to be a joke.
He doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty.
You might have some useful information, though. I have to keep trying. So, last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? You? Just you, Naruhodo? Yet. Of course not. Now back to the corner of room and make silent. I say no more to you. Did I hit a nerve? Just for a minute there, he seemed a little flustered. Suspicious.
When I went for help and the crewman forced the door open, this bolt had been firmly closed.
It's quite a small bolt and not particularly sturdy, and it just slides across to secure the door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. It's no wonder everyone suspects me. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel, the culprit used a needle and thread to draw a bolt across from outside the room in a situation like this.
Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. But the door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal, and they seal together perfectly. There would be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid.
She's very smart. Very, very smart. Knows her stuff. When she glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine. Alright, time to talk to the, detective. Smart. Yes, she is very smart. Excuse me. Excuse me, do you have a moment? How do I want to do this frickin' voice? Because Cosmo is kind of like... is kind of the British thing going on, but I don't know what else to do. By Jove? I don't know. This is what happens when you put people with accents that I'm like, I don't know. Shh. This is a critical point in my investigation. I don't even know how to do a sexy voice. I'm going to be very honest with you. You're asking it an impossible request. Is dead, so just reuse the voice.
Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Yes, perhaps that would be for the best.
No, I'm not reusing the voice.
Greetings, hope I haven't kept you waiting long. Ah!
What exactly were you doing on Cosmo's desk just now? I see. Fascinating. Sorry, what do you see? It feels like he's looking right through me. Ah, yes, everything is clear now. The train of reason has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. I'm trying to, like, think. Is he looking through... No, he can see, what's the word? UV rays? Not UV rays. Heat? We'll say heat. Heat sources. That's how he found out that, Ryunosuke was in the closet. He can see, like, heat, like body heat. So he's not really X-ray vision, if you remember in the animation. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? What? And now, whilst venturing forward toward foreign climes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Oh, well that's true at least.
But how?
How? Oh my gosh, we're not doing puns already! How the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining.
Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else?
But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being as you are a merciless revolutionary. Wrong nationality, buddy. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. Not even close. And when the beribboned occupant of this very cabin discovered your identity, you have ended his life. Yes, I believe this summarizes the facts beautifully. So it's 50% right and 50% right, wrong. I think so. I think. Remember, he's our detective for the games. For these two games. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. Just to be clear, you're talking to me about me, are you? Certainly I am. Do you see another man in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name? Where did you find the 16 victims? Where the frick are they? There's no improvement from the last one. Yeah. I don't even see one who fits the bill.
Oh boy. So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma-sama.
You're going to believe the man who said that Ryunosuke Naruhodo, a Japanese man, is apparently Russian who is a merciless assassin guy who has assassinated 16 people. But I love him so much. It's fine. You can like him as a character. Hello. You just like how everyone likes Gumshoe. Gumshoe is not a great detective, but do we love him as a character? Yes. What?
And you're plotting a revolution, too. It's shameful behavior, Naruto-san. Absolutely wicked.
She is smart, but also is comedic. What? What? I didn't get to read. I turned away for 2 seconds. No, listen, there's no way
Yeah. Now explain yourself. Tell me everything.
This is ridiculous. I think they just need to use the animations of that just over and over again.
How could you do it?
For pity's sake. Open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously.
Oh, forgive me.
And as for you, what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came into your head. Oh, but was I not right? Whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you do find yourself in a most troubling predicament, do you not? Well, yes, maybe. Ha! There you have it, you see? What do you make of that, Well, to be honest, the ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder. So, I'm not really sure you could call it deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles. You see, I announce my findings with a brassy certitude. And more often than not, I'm right. I don't even know what to say. You're making Gumshoe look intelligent and knowing everything about a case and having no issues and problems. I never thought Gumshoe would be a star detective. How did you do this? How is it possible? You're making Gumshoe a star detective. He should deserve that frickin' pay raise. Golly! I don't think you introduced yourself. Oh, my apologies. How remiss of me. Yeah, I don't think anyone ever thought they would see the day. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century known to men and women over the world over. Sorry, cleaning my glasses. Yeah, no one ever thought they would see the day that Gumshoe would be quality detective work. Quality detective work. For Gumshoe. What world are we living in? The intimidable Herlock Shlomes. Shlomes.
So it's really you? The actual Herlock Sholmes?
The very same. The imitable, actual Herlock Shlomes. You know this man, Susato-san?
The most famous detective in the world? Naruto-san? Of course I do. There's nobody who hasn't heard of him.
What planet have I been living on, then? Probably a good one.
We must ask him what he deduced. He will have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure.
Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? Because you're prime suspect number 1? Converse. Great detective. I love the quotations. So you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, I am none other than the one and only Herlock Sholmes. Oh, I see. You're German? Herlock, was it? No, I'm no her. I mean, I have hair. Please call me Sholmes.
You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication.
Change his name from Sherlock. They would have to written a competent detective. Yeah, because that's a lot of, like, Sherlock Holmes is a lot to live up to a name like that.
Oh yes, Granite's magazine full of wonderful short stories and interest articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I have it sent from England especially.
Ah yes, here it is. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. So, you're the protagonist in a series of short stories, then? Indeed I am. And you've read so many of your own stories, you start to think you really are a detective? Well, her dad is a university professor, so I think she probably is from a well-off family.
Make no mistake, I am not poor. Delude fellow you take me for. Your inference is backward.
Backward?
My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine.
You have a biographer? Do you?
Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London.
Dr. Wilson?
I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fascinatingly busy of late. Why, this very moment I'm returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown.
Really? I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Both is an option?
Deduction, you see, is to me a science. Logical reasoning in its purest form.
A science?
Really?
The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in a subject.
Goodness. Words that I know how to say, but goodness. Yeah, Yeah, you believe, Shlomes over here? Shlomes? Goodness. Yeah, we believe him, for sure we do. We just nod along and go, yeah, sure, buddy.
A fortuitive glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, furrow in the skin. All these things are data.
Right.
And the train
oh my gosh, why do you use these words?
And the trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago.
Him or something. She can't be this. I think she's starstruck by him being the character that she knows from the books. Like, imagine people if they got to meet Sherlock Holmes in real life. Like, Sherlock Holmes was a real person and you got to meet him in real life. You'd be like, people would be starstruck. Like, that would be amazing. So, he's kind of like that equivalent. How can he look me in the eye and claim that?
So you see, I have a turn for both observation and for deduction and fame. That is what makes me the one and only Sherlock Holmes.
Blah. Cosmo's death. Goodness. Just Africans and 800s made a handsome Western man. That is true. That is also another possibility. Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet?
Have I managed to deduce anything? My dear fellow. Who did you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Ah, I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him.
When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I summoned all of the crew members to force the cabin door open.
And I conceded myself among their number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective, Herlock Sholmes, was on board. And the handcuffs seemed to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruto. Ugh. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, 2 facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh, really? 2 facts, you say? Oh, the deduction just now. Like, what is this chat? My gosh, 2 facts. Mr. Sholmes, please tell us. What 2 facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? Oh yes, but first let us be precise. The 2 facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand, but what were they? Allow me to elucidate. The 2 facts that I deduced from a mere monetary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1, the cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number 2, the victim was Russian and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Sholmes. What makes you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dye meshes left by the victim on the floor. Wow, they actually... Well... I cannot read... I'm going... Do I... What is... Okay, I'm gonna do this so it's wardrobe, but hang on. I'm going to do a thing because I find this funny. Okay. Wow, that is exactly correct.
Гардероб. Гардероб.
Gadro? Gadro? Apparently Gadro. Gadro? That is the Russian word for wardrobe. They went on Herlock's design, though. Yeah, it is wardrobe. Wardrobe? Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's also the same, so if you look at the English word for wardrobe, it's the same amount of letters. 1, 2, it's 8 and 8. Robe in French means wardrobe. Huh. So I guess it's just a similar word that was used. Interesting.
Do you really think Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian?
Well, no, it'd be closer to French of all things. It's an interesting fact. We just learn everything every day from Ace Attorney. In their final moments, many find their native tongue filling their head for this young man Russian. He's not Russian. In Spanish, the word for wardrobe is also really similar. Wow, we're dealing, I guess, languages sometimes just have some words that are very similar. Maybe just older words are particularly similar. Since wardrobes have been around for a very long time, it would make sense that a lot of different languages use similar sounding words. He's Romanian? Who do you mean Romanian? The one who died is not Romanian, he's Japanese. Kazuma was Russian? Was he? Initially, I considered garderobe may be the name of the killer, and Robert Gardet, perhaps. The Numa people? The concept of wardrobe transcends language. Yeah, I guess so. Well, it does make sense. I just find it funny that it must be just because it's an older quote-unquote invention, so it must have been just a word that they all thought of? That they all communicated that, I guess. Because garderobe sounds very similar to wardrobe. And you'd be like, okay, it's something with a robe based on the word. So yeah. But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe there, at least.
Where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly.
Quite so, I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Why is it that I'm Russian too? Different from its actual self. Yeah. I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. And if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people. I want to smack my head. You're so close, but so far away. Herlock, you're so far away. It sounds like a formal dress. Yeah, it kind of does. But wardrobe? Like wardrobe? Like if you look at the word ward, it sounds like wood, which is usually what wardrobes are made out of, and then robe. Typically, wardrobes are used for, most of the time, formal stuff. So it makes sense for that to be the case. At least that's me taking a guess on the word. But yeah, that's me guessing. I might be completely wrong. This is Russian. Huh. Well, at least online I found that the word that they translated is very accurate to what comes up immediately. But I don't know. Alright.
Our school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people? I had no idea.
Susato. Please. Shush for a second. And I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong. No, I don't speak Russian. I used a translation device. I don't speak Russian. It's called I copied and pasted it, and I just looked really fast, and it translated it to "this is Russian." But thank you for thinking that. Just means I'm speedy on the typing. I think Russian would be an interesting language to learn. But some things where I'm like, this alphabet would drive me crazy. Called alien technology, goodness. I took a photograph of the victim and the message, and then I might analyze it for possible hidden details. Hi, Cosmo. How you doing, buddy? This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yes, Cosmo had already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this. Isn't as bad as the correct alphabet. Oh, I think there's a lot of alphabets that's, like, difficult. It's just intimidating as English is my basis, and it's like, okay, I have to somehow equate English to another language and trying to figure out how to work that from there. That's the most difficult thing. Huh. It's interesting. Like I said, it's not impossible. Any language that you can learn is just practice, 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 practice. Bum, 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 bum.
Are you alright, Mr. Naruto?
Oh, yes, thank you. Photograph of the crime scene has been entered into the court record. The Russian word for wardrobe in purple ink, it would appear to have been written into the victim's final moments. Can I ask you something, Mr. Slomes? What the frick is that? What am I looking at? Death with a sword, apparently. I guess he was too good for this world. Yeah, he is a sweetheart. That is some writing, man. What am I? What the frick? Oh, it looks like upside down letters to me. Nope. my brain have been jumped behind. That is possible. That is definitely possible. What, pray? You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? Huh. Well, I applaud you. I am impressed. I am very impressed. Because when I look at that, I have, like, no idea. Like, some of them look like English words, like letters, but then some stuff looks like just doodles, and I'm like, I wouldn't even know where to start. Alec is really hung up on this Russian theory of his. I guess. I guess. You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all that. Yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth. Unbreaking detectives are about clothing, while wrong and funny actually makes sense if he's saying Russian not based on ethnicity but nationality. Huh. Interesting. I do find that is an interesting comment, Dylan. I will say. Interesting comment. This is the language of the Americas. Huh. Well, it is very interesting. I think I've seen it before. Because Cherokee. Cherokee, that's the word. Okay. Now that I got it now. I understand, it's Cherokee. I don't know why, it's been a long time since I've looked at the word Cherokee. It was like, oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. It took me a second. Goodness. That explains everything. That explains a lot more when I'm looking at that. What it is, how it's spelled. It's like, Cherokee is spelled. Yeah, I can kind of see it now. Kind of. But very interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm learning so many things today. Would you mind explaining that train of reasoning to me, do you think? What the frick? Why? Why do you do this to me? This is while Japan is just opening up, so the Russian number still stands as the revolutionary movement's only starting, so Russia would have had land in Central Asia for silk. Oh, so he's not completely off base. Weirdly enough. Huh. He's still off base, but his deductioning is not complete madness. Huh. I have no idea what he said. He said something. Why can they not in frickin' like parentheses or not parentheses, whatever the frick it's called. Certainly, if it interests you. How many times? I'm not Russian. I don't speak Russian. Your deduction just now. Can we talk about your deduction before? The things you concluded about me, I mean. Ah, the now famously accurate, troubling predicament you find yourself in. Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part? Still quite bizarre. Yes, it's still quite bizarre. But interesting context, nonetheless. Goodness. Ah, yes, the more sordid details. It was fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headlines reads... Revolutionary, violent Bolshevik, fleeing Please, Russia via Shanghai. Are you telling me that you think Ryunosuke looks anything like that man? He has no facial hair. Like, what the frick are you talking about? If you're saying he's him, I'm impressed. Apparently Ryunosuke can get rid of facial hair as he pleases. Well, let's we're all over Portland, so you would have suck on a lot of closest part of the army, huh? And we left from Japan. Yep. He really needs glasses. Yeah. Yeah, we really have left Japan. I'm just gonna say, the guy has a very voluptuous beard. I will say. Must have been very well maintained. Very, very well maintained, I must say. This vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. I said Poland. I said the Americans, so I'm not familiar with Russo-Japanese politics. Huh. Yeah, it's not surprising. I don't really know the Russian-Japanese politics during the 18th century. That is very specific. So, since when was Kazuma a Russian?
It sounds like Mr. Slomes has concluded he was Russian because of what Kazuma-sama wrote on the floor.
Well, I'm guessing, like I said, him thinking that is not completely out of the realm of possibility, but, you know, it's still a lot. I need a hearing aid, goodness. It happens, you just misheard. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary. That's quite the leap in logic. One who would kill the very man who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you. Valen Bolshevik. No. How could it be me? I don't look anything like this man. Just look at his face. Because Kazuma... All I can say is like, yeah, does this look anything like Kazuma? He had to have shaved all of his facial hair. Had gotten facial reconstruction to then get on the boat. And wasn't taught this in school. I learned from video games, documentaries, and books. Interesting. That is very interesting. Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. You're asking a lot from the 18th century, man. I mean, the bearded glasses could be misleading. Like 2 water drops? Goodness. I'm gonna be like... Well, I'm just saying, he has, like, his face is very, like, toned. He has, like, he has cheekbones. I read a lot of books. Yeah. Makes sense. You learn a lot from reading. That's why I read all the time. All I can say is I'm like, the man that he's accusing of Ryunosuke being, he has completely, he has cheekbones, like very prominent cheekbones. Where would those go? Even if he shaved his, like, beard, his cheekbones are very prominent. So it'd be very weird. Please. And might I add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Well, that's because I'm a stowaway.
What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower?
Yeah, where the frick did you get that? Ah yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all those particulars in the article. The deeds the man had perpetrated thus far and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake.
Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters? I wonder.
Well, that's true, but how, like, close would that have to be? Because he was in Shanghai. Crystal Tower, yes. Apparently something in Britain. But this happened in Shanghai. So how was he in Shanghai, but also on this boat to England? And Rio is skinny, yeah, with a lot of food. I'm just gonna be like, he is supposed to be in Shanghai. So how is a guy who was in Shanghai and this newspaper and all this, but then is also on a boat? How does that happen? And what about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated there in the article. Bolshevik has recently returned from after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan. Magic. Fun facts about South American revolutionary movements, you see them all with beards because they would all vow not to shave until all of South America was... Wow. Then day 2, he reads the... What? Huh? I don't get that one. I think maybe that was a misprint, but you know. Where even is it anyway? This Afghanistan place. Well, obviously you're Japan, so. I'm gonna be like... Japan was sanctioned off until recently, so him not knowing where the Middle East is makes very much a lot of sense. Here, take the paper for yourself. Here's a little memento of this great deduction. Oh, thank you. I was told all that is of interest to me within its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby. The article about the revolutionary has been entered into the court. Did I see hearsay for a second? I want to check the court record real quick. Give me this thing. I want to examine. Space.
I'm afraid I can't read a word of Russian.
No, me either. I have no idea what any of this says. Well, the only thing that they decided to actually put in Russian is the frickin' top and this.
The pair of you flundering is a sorry sight. Allow me to offer some assistance.
Long face. Yes, he has a very long face, too. That is true. Also, like, the ears, I guess, are the only thing I could look at is, like, I guess the ears are kind of similar if you thought about it, but otherwise there's nothing else alike.
The article on the front page of this newspaper is concerned with a fearsome Russian revolutionary.
Well, hello, Matthew. How have you been? It's been a while.
It reads, Revolutionary Valin Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai.
Yes, you told us that before.
It reveals also that those who seek the man's beard with their own eyes should never live to tell the tale. Oh my goodness, he is fearsome.
Still going, how is this relevant to Cosmo's case? Ah. So the timeline zones line up again. Oh, you went... Well, I hope you enjoyed Hawaii. Well, presumably the newspaper photographer was alright, wasn't he?
The solution is obvious, of course. If he despised his beard to that degree, he would need only shave it off.
Did he really read the sentence and understand what this man was saying? It went over his head. The beard thing goes back to Napoleon too. The Spanish and Portuguese mariners fled to their colonies to escape the wars. They made them same vow until their thrones were restored. Huh. Herlock just completely missed the freaking message. Holy moly.
I'm not quite sure that's the problem, Mr. Slomes.
I was gonna be like, you would never catch him. Dude wants a goatee, but also wanted a big bushy beard. Oh, there's a princess? Queen? Royalty? This is interesting.
Have you found something relevant, Naruto-san?
Well, no, I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. Is she 20 years old? Because I can read the number.
I can't read a single word, I'm afraid.
No, nor can I. But look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess, do you think?
She is very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you can enjoy articles like this. Do you?
I don't know. I can't make any sense of it. Oh, I'm glad you've noticed this article. Oh no, I'm assuming it will be useful in the future. Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. Oh, thank you. He pops up everywhere, this Mr. Shlomes. This is Eastern Europe edition. This is back in the 18th century edition. This is, Phoenix Wright's ancestor. Ryunosuke Naruto. So, yeah. We're back in the 18th century. Or 19th century? 18th century. One of them. I forget when it's supposed to be. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned prima bella ballerina of the Vanna Vinch Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. Passage of time for Russian Revolution yet? 19th, it's 18th century. Okay, it is the 1800s. Thank you! Just needed to double check. I was like, it's one of them. It said the 20th century. That they're nearing the 20th century, so we're at the end of the 19th century. She is, of course, the talented young Nicolina Bolivia. I don't know why I said it like that, excuse me. Nicolina Bolivia, I think. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? Well, it's not like your name is easy to remember either, Ryunosuke Naruto. It appeared the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from a dressing room. Wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles. Pavel... Don't let her read anymore. Pavlova does not correctly show how miserable it was to live before electricity and plumbing 1900s. Oh my gosh. We're not doing this if... Oh my goodness. Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles?
I have no idea, but I'm quite sure. It must have been an unbelievable sum of money.
Oh, Sato-san's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara is the property of the Novelli Vinch Ballet. It would seem the director is beside herself with worry. Yes, I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavla. Is that how it said? Pavla? Miss Pavla and the valuable tiara. They requested international assistance at all ports with sailing to Great Britain. Well, so he is on his way there, huh? But my gosh, are we going to be doing this? It does seem to be the Russian thing to do. Oh boy. Pavlova. Pronunciation.
Pavlova.
Goodness.
Pavlova.
There. Pavlova.
I'm not even going to Dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruto.
The way it's easier to you, please, I can't handle it. That is how it... I'm not kidding, that is how it is pronounced. That is what Google gave to me. Whether that is technically right or wrong, I don't know. I think you were saying it more, your pronunciation is getting worse. Yeah, probably. And you may find the article on the back page of interest as well. On the back? Cast your eyes over it sometime if the interest takes you, though you may need some time to interpret, someone to interpret. It's all written in Russian. Couldn't hope to read it. But I suppose it wouldn't hurt just to glance at the article. Maybe there might be a picture or two. Thanks for trying. I was trying, I'm like... I am trying. I am genuinely trying to say it. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry. But I am looking at it and I'm like, trying to sound it out, and that's how I can get it. Alright, what were you just investigating? Alright. Before we started talking, you were examining Kazuma's desk, weren't you? Okay, I do. That's the one. Kazuma. Oh yes, the victim. Just like a certain insect Pokemon. Oh my gosh, we're gonna do it. They be speaking older English, whereas thy friend. Well, we're dealing with our main character is Japanese. It's only in English because that is the language that I have put it in. Herlock Sholmes. Oh no. Maybe he's hip with the times, I guess.
Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all?
Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. We see that the victim was engaged in penning some text. London Diary. Kazuma was keeping notes of the trip. But I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Tragic. It's something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. Wait, are the characters just cel-shaded 3D animations, or I'm going crazy? They are 3D. They are 3D animations. Like, if you can think of how they were back in the other games with, like, pixels, yeah, they're fully animated. They're fully shaded everything. I don't think they're 2D. I'm pretty sure they're 3D models. Because they move their heads all the time. I don't think they're 2D. I might be wrong, but I'm like, I swear they're 3D. Like, the environments behind them are 2D. They blink. Yes, they do blink. You mean you've read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. Really good 2D animation. Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a Susato takedown is. Well, yes, I am a person, so I blink. There, is that better? Would you like me to blink multiple times? It frickin' hurts my eyeballs. You are. Yes, I am a living creature. I don't have to hit a button to blink. I just blink. Blink, 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 blink. Like, everything just tracks where I'm, like, it follows where my head is, where my eyes are, and when I blink. I know you're joking. Don't worry, I'm just saying, you asked the question. Yes, I can blink multiple times over. That's just how it works. Keeps the button pressed. She closes her eyes. No. It's just if I close my eyes like this, my eyes closed. What a concept. Susato-san, aren't you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns?
I'm sorry, Naruto-san. What on earth do you mean?
Life is so unfair. Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely this diary belonging to the victim, it would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. The Rennis Living Preview. Yeah. That happens. And discrimination. Of course, oh my gosh. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray to be precise to the details. As if it needed another reason. Golly. Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese. Well, apparently he knows Russian. A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Read and is stuck with somehow people even more dumb than him. Sayonara, Bonsai, Mikado, Nodo. What the frick? What are these random words that you've decided? Sayonara. Goodness. The clothing physics along with other things. Yep. Trust you're suitably impressed. They're like... Well, bonsai could mean the bonsai tree, or you could mean yay. To make... It's like when you say, we forget to make fun of French. Yeah. I miss gumshoe. But this diary is littered with complicated-looking characters, of which I can read precisely none. It's like a scary movie Japanese subtitles. Ho 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 ho. So what was all that showing off before then?
If you'd be so kind as to show me, I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Slomes.
I'm very much obliged, my dear madam.
The final entry here in Kazuma-sama's diary consists of just 2 short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound.
Whistling sound? Whistling sound? He's supposed to be... He's based off Sherlock Holmes, but he's Herlock Sholmes. If you get the pun. These are very deep waters. Pray go on.
The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
A speckled band? What on earth does that mean? I guess a snake?
I have no idea. I've never heard that expression before.
The ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring... to the lattice there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. Yes, the adjoining cabin. Yes, Sherlock Holmes is a public domain character, but they don't want to put Sherlock Holmes, who is a very intelligent detective, with a character that is supposed to be kind of a joke. That's all. That's the whole point of the joke, is that he is like Sherlock Holmes, but not completely all the way. So I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being, at least.
Do you have somewhere to go?
As it happens, the victim's writings in his diary have piqued my interest. That would also be... Yeah, that would make sense. The game would also be too easy. Yeah, with Sherlock here, yeah, the case would be just solved. There would be no gameplay. The matter warrants further investigation. I believe as if I'm still too long, the seasickness takes hold. Would have had the case solved when the main character first met him. Yep. The books was a that doesn't surprise me. Back then, when Sherlock Holmes was made, lots of things happened. There would be no game. Yeah.
Oh, I suppose. You're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to?
Great detectives are a curious breed. Our mind rebels at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation. So, it's with such an I to. It's fine. It's fine. I'm assuming that I could take a wild guess on what it could possibly be. I remember when he talked about the amazing wonder cure. Oh boy, well, I'm just gonna remove that. Sorry, just for safety's sake. Wow, I did not know Sherlock Holmes was, into a broken cane. I guess in his older years he really needed a cane, but he got a broken one. So yes, I intend to investigate, hence the truth will become clear soon enough. Do you think perhaps that we could go with you? No, that would be somewhat complicated. Oh boy. He did play the violin. Like all the psychologists at the time, let's be honest. Wow. Well, all you can say is that, Sherlock Holmes was a genius detective. That's all we can say. Was a good detective. What? But why? A simple glance at your wrist should reveal the answer. Oh, these. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. Nope. There's no point trying to turn it into a question. Sign of intelligence, was it? You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point. You must be joking. You just said it only a moment ago. Dear me, you're clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such a thing.
Well, actually, Mr. Slomes, I did hear you say that too.
Wow, now you're on his side? Reduction, delete the message? I don't know. You quite sure? Well, that's very strange. Well, I don't know. I know that he lost his mind when it came to Sherlock Holmes. Because he wanted to end the series, but he kept getting bombarded about him. Till he died. And I mean the author. Not Sherlock. Is a wonder. Wow. I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal, not really. So what? Were you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. Yeah, you kind of feel bad. The poor guy was successful, but the character that he made, he started to hate. Like, that's the sad part. It's really sad that this author came to hate what he created because he just wanted to do something else. He used to be given wow. My gosh. Okay, everybody, let's stop putting those things in the chat. I don't want to be banned. How's that sound? Woo! Well, anyway, that was then, and this is now. Ninja Phoenix done with everyone around him attitude. Yep. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly, roll over and accept your fate. Took a while to... Yeah. Goodness. Now he's just being plain rude. I can take a break from that voice for a while. And off he goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as his name. Maybe I'm sure YouTube doesn't ban people for talking about... I do... It's just the context of how certain things are worded that I'm very worried. That's all. I'm just worried that they're thinking that there's something there that isn't. That's all. I'm just being cautious.
Naruto-san, what are you just standing there for?
Huh?
We must go and investigate the cabin next door as well.
Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? There's no way I can...
Hiya! After Kazuma-sama spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up?
You're just going to...
Roll over and accept your fate?
Well, Susan's not here anymore. Susan retired and passed away. So... Yeah, I'm just saying, Susan's not around anymore. She passed away of its own Rosemary the Paranoia, Matthew. Yeah, you guys know, right? That Susan... Susan, who used to run YouTube, Susan, passed away. Like a few days ago. Yeah, she died from cancer. At 56? Just young. Sad. Yes, she did. She did pass away from cancer. I'm trying not to make this too much about it, but yes, she did pass away from cancer. We're at one for Miss Susan. Yeah, may she rest in peace. But yeah, the only other thing that I will say is that apparently she had a son, and he, I don't know if he died from cancer or what, but he passed away before her. And so her son passed away, and I don't remember when people said, but yeah. Just, you feel very bad. But yeah, may she rest in peace. Alright, I'm gonna continue. Yeah, cancer does suck. It really does. Really, really does. Alright, let's get back to this. Sorry, hope I didn't damper anybody's thing. Let's deal with the funny Ace Attorney. Yeah, I hope that that humans do one day destroy cancer and it's solved. That would be great. Ugh, as if you gave me any choice in the rolling over part. Yeah, it is in progress. I think we still have some investigation to finish off in here first, don't we? Let's carry on and examine what we can in this cabin while we wait for a chance to slip next door. Cunning Ace Attorney.
Good idea.
The situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things I can do to help myself. I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can to find a way out of this, and bring the real culprit to justice. Oh. Is something
wrong, Naruto-san?
Oh, no, it's just that crewman standing by the door. I can't help feeling that I've seen him somewhere before.
Oh yes, you're right. He does look familiar.
Yes, he is still in shackles this entire time.
Excuse me, sir. Yes, what can I do for you?
Are you on a boat? Yes, we are on a boat. I recognize that face, but it can't be. You can speak Russian too? It is.
I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga. Hello again.
What are you doing here?
I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped. Nearly stopped, I hope. I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board this ship.
Again?
You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask.
It is at least that year. Huh. Well, you know exactly about this uniform. I'm kind of just impressed. I never expect to see this man on board. Perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. Hi, buddy. I'm gonna save while I'm thinking about this. We've gone through a lot already. Special orders. So what are your special orders this time, Inspector?
Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew?
Watch was made in 1857. Wow, that's an old watch. Oh no, I googled it. Oh, okay. I was just like, heesh, I'm impressed. I was just impressed that you knew that. I was just like, huh? Weird random trivia to have.
I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility.
For what?
My orders were to act as Asugoi-san's bodyguard. It was Minister of Justice Jigoku who pushed for this overseas tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Asugoi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated.
What the frick? So there really was an assassination going on? What? What? This seems even more hopeless than... Yeah. I'm gonna be like, what? There actually was an assassination attempt? What? What? So this is an actual thing that we need to be worried about? Assassinated? How? How could that even be possibility?
I'm not sure, but these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities.
This is incredible.
I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated?
You know, you're living in the closet. Nice bodyguard. Yeah, you don't say.
Obviously, we couldn't give Asugoi a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board. From morning till night, every day. But I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin. Not here on the first class deck.
This is the first class? Really? Really?
I failed miserably at my assignment, and Asugoi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize.
People thought we're going to take over the world. Well, here's the thing. The past is a freaking wild place to be. Things made no sense. It was massive for an ocean liner. I guess it is. When I think first class, I just think of the really big ships. Inspector.
So if there's anything at all that I can do to help now, just say the word.
Permission to investigate. We're doing what we can do. We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves. Wow, you immediately said tuberculosis. Is that just the immediate thing for tuberculosis? Is that the first sign? Is that like a sign for tuberculosis? That's the freaking third person that has said that. Maybe fourth? Goodness, I guess. Members of my family. Wow, I am sorry. I am sorry for that. I'm just like, kind of was indicative of it. Huh. Interesting. Yes, I'm assuming it is very horrifying. I don't know if he actually has tuberculosis. That's just what chat says. So I have no idea if he actually has it.
I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer?
Of course not.
We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door.
Yes, so we need to be allowed out of this cabin. Oh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's horrible. I am so sorry. Holy mackerel, that's... Ugh.
I'm sorry.
What?
You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If you move to even touch the handle of the cabin door, the stormy-looking sea man there would surely snap your neck in two.
I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well. That's what happened to my family members. They turned out their blood from the inside out. Yeesh. Okay. It was easily treated with antibiotics today, so fatalities are very rare today. Well, that's nice. You guys are freaking ridiculous. Yeah, the 1800s is a different ball game altogether. I'm glad that there's treatment nowadays. I am very glad. Alright.
Would it be possible to give something to work with? To give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive. What do you mean? If I had a solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example.
What after if you hadn't hesitated? Goodness.
I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to.
But I don't see how...
There may be a way.
What? Really?
Think of how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Naruhodo-san, by presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession.
One YouTuber watches the thing. Well, if that's how they want to live their life, I don't really have any control over someone else's own life. I'm just a keen observer. Evidence.
It's just the same as when you were in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Simply select the present panel and choose some evidence that Inspector Hosonoga could use.
A lot about the 1800s from them. Huh. Interesting. So evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate the next door cabin, is it? Alright, yes, I think I might know what we can use. Let's see if I can present the detective with evidence that he needs to persuade the captain. Present this.
What's that?
It's Kazuma's diary.
Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary. Strange? In what way? He wrote, what looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? That is strange.
Yes, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that, but what I'd like to know is... The first example of clean water was from Old Kingdom in Egypt.
Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it? You're very astute, Inspector.
Ines.
The ventilator clearly joins to the next door cabin.
That's right, so if we could investigate in there, we might be able to work out what the speckled bam was.
Alright then. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes, as long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. Afraid I can't remove those handcuffs, though.
But what about the captain? Are you going against his direct orders? Well, that isn't a very important ages to look through in history.
I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Osugoi-san safe. This is the least I can do.
Thank you.
Let's seize the moment then, Naruto-san. Just select move and we can leave this cabin at last.
Move. Alright, let's see what we can find out. Leave it to myself and I'll make sure my next joke is funny, oh my goodness. Alright, time to move locations. Ninth of January, 7:48 a.m. Wow, it's early. That says Buria, first class cabin passageway. I just get a ton of dude focus boosts and otherwise. That is a giant mousetrap. What the frick? Phew, I'm finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be, and this is the most luxurious accommodation.
Yes, indeed. Kazuma-sama was being sent on the study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in a first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in Sturridge.
Really? That must be awful. Oh, it's the other guy. Oh, look over there. That's another crewman keeping watch, and he looks enormous even if he's sitting down. Looking for a really big rat? I guess so.
The door next to him leads to the second-class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't.
Be on the first lifeboat IRL if I heard there's a killer on board the ship. True. I suppose. Like people in handcuffs?
Naruto-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought that you'd be used to the ship by now. We've been at sea for 2 weeks already.
Well, yes, I know, but the thing is, I was inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came aboard. Going out to some... Okay. Oh, lifeboats in this age, oh thanks. And ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe.
It must have been a very trying time for you.
Please, don't give me that pitying look. Alright, can I look now? I want to examine things. What's this? That's a huge book on top of the table there, and there's a pen next to it.
Yes, that looks like the ship's log.
Shall we have a little look through it?
The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded.
You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. And nothing. No reaction at all. I thought he might appreciate the compliment. I don't know. He's not doing anything, so I guess it's fine?
I'm not sure that rough and ready is much of a compliment, Naruto-san, even to a sailor. Anyway, last night's log is mostly blank.
Presumably that means there was nothing to report. This looks like a plan of the SS Buria. it shows each deck. Look.
The Berea is a large-scale steamship with a triple-skinned hull. What a marvel of engineering.
Well, yeah. Well, it makes sense, but it's just kind of interesting that a sailor has particularly very nice and neat handwriting, I guess, as you don't expect that typically of a sailor. How is that such a huge lump of metal? It doesn't just sink to the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, that's really quite simple, Naruto-san.
It is?
Well, consider the Japanese archipelago.
The islands of Japan?
Yes, they're not metal, but they're enormous lumps of earth, many, many times bigger than the ship. And they don't sink, do they? They've been floating happily on the sea since the gods created them.
Well, I suppose so. She made you be very quiet very quickly. I mean, if he's the one doing the log, the captain must select him for his clear writing. Maybe. Because it's not metal. Excuse me, but can I ask you something? You little stowaway murderer? That wasn't a good start, was it?
Alright, let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask you for something of you?
You third-rate class ladies' maid? Wow.
Oh.
We seem to have caught the sailor on a bad day, Susato-san. I'm not a sailor. My mother gave me a name. I am a senior crewman. Biff Stroganoff. Stroganoff? Is his name Beef Stroganoff, but they changed it to Biff? Oh my goodness. Phew. The best thing is just to avoid eye contact, I think. First class cabin area. You gotta roll the R's. Mr. Stroganoff, about the first class cabin area. How are we here we are in the finest area Berea steamship for very important persons. What sort of very important persons? Government officials, kings and queens traveling in secret, many important persons. This is why I always guard this place. He has a very weird tan going on. Did you sleep with something, like, outside, and you got it all over your face? Gosh, that's amazing. But somehow I let stupid stowaways inside. I want to pick you up and throw you in the ocean, but Stroganoff is not animal. Thank you?
If I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Osagi-san's currently occupied?
Duh. Susato-san, did you understand that? It means yes. Goodness, it's not that difficult of a word.
It sounded like da.
Or, no. Excuse me.
I think it's probably Russian for yes, or no.
Genius. It's not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. Well, it sounds like there is somebody in that next door cabin at least. Yes, I know da means yes, it's just she doesn't know it means yes or no. My last chat thread, what did you do, Lou? What did you do?
Yes, it's tantalizing.
Passenger in the next door cabin. Could you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. Osagoy's? His name is Mr. Grimsby Rolla. He's a very important Western gentleman. A really dumb joke. Huh. Western gentleman? Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with the murder of student boy. How can you be so sure about that? So yes, even though it's closer to Spanish than Russian. Mr. Rowlett is an authentic Western gentleman. Such a strong man would have no interest in lowly student from insignificant Far East Island. That was harsh.
Could you tell us when Mr. Rowland came aboard?
That is not your business. That is not your business. Come to think of it, even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now, and I've been in Cosmo's cabin the entire time, I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like there was anyone there.
Well, presumably, since this gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins... he must be rather important, isn't that right?
That is not your business. It's what he says. I don't know. I'm just reading it. Are you watching here all the time, Sailor Stroganoff? Da, all the time. So criminal like you cannot come in. Or get out.
I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all?
It is said about student boy. Were you on watch last night as well? Of course. And did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? Yet. Susato-san, did you understand that? I think it means no. I think I said it correctly.
It was clearly a no.
I saw nothing unusual, nothing at all. And you didn't hear any strange noises? I don't think Cyclocks exist for Ryanosuke. Or sense anything was wrong in some way? I said no. Sorry. I'm not so sure. I could have sworn that he would catch my eye for a moment there. He wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. Well, Cyclocks are only related to Phoenix. Because, Apollo doesn't use Cyclocks either, if I remember correctly. This is enough. I cannot say any more now. Oh. It is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin. Yes, alright. Bulkhead to second-class area is staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on top of the mountain, or as the English say, when the pigs fly. Yes, I understand.
Good. Now we can investigate this area properly, shall we?
Wow, immediately. She really is like Maya. Golly. Yeah, it is true. I don't know. Definitely. Examine. Well, we've looked at this. I guess we'll look at the door.
That's the way to the second-class area of the ship. Is something wrong?
I was thinking about making a run for it, just for a moment. Things aren't exactly going well for me.
I might be wrong, but I imagine the moment you reach for the handle on the door, that burly sailor would surely shoot you dead.
She's not wrong. She's probably not wrong.
Oh dear, I'm sorry. Perhaps I went a little too far there.
No, I started it with my talk of running away. And there's no way I could run away while Cosmo's death remains a mystery anyway. I don't know who put him in handcuffs. I'm assuming one of the sailors did?
Ah, a trap for catching mice.
Yes, we have plenty of those back home in Japan. Although they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait.
Let me see. Yes, I think that's what it's called. Well, cheese. It's made from milk of cows.
Cheese? I wonder what that tastes like. People would say a dream. Some people really like them. Yeah, I think it was Herlock gave it to him. Like, put the handcuffs on him.
You can't eat it, Naruto-san. The trap will snap on your fingers.
Really? But, I suppose you're right.
You weren't actually going to try it, were you?
All I had to eat for the past couple of weeks is Cosmo's leftovers. You don't know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe.
Poor you. I find a little snack for you later.
Goodness golly gosh. Alright. Why did you put random words together? Something wrong?
I'll find a snack for you later.
Alright, this. What do you think this is? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it?
That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it.
Oh, an alarm.
It says press only in times of emergency. Looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship and brings the vessel to a complete stop.
It's weird you'd have been timed out to make. Oh, this I have to see.
What are you doing, Naruto-san? You mustn't touch it.
But this is an emergency situation. Just look at these handcuffs. Establish and assume you could run faster than they're. We don't know.
You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. If you were to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'd be in an even worse situation.
I wish everything would just stop, the ship included.
If you have to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else.
Bum 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 bum. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to.
Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging.
Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. I don't know, he just has not... Like, this is during the time of... They recently opened up Japan has recently opened up its doors to other countries, so, you know. He probably has never tried cheese before.
No answer. We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries.
How annoying. Oh! What was that? It came from inside the cabin.
Such a high-pitched scream. It must have been a woman.
Stand aside. I'm about to break down the door.
Mr. Slomes.
I'm assuming Cheese was, but he might have just not tried it. I don't know. I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in kicking doors off their hinges.
Please, wait, Mr. Slomes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted.
It doesn't? Then how deuced can I dispatch this muscular urge? But pray, can I kick?
I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress relief.
9th of January, the ship, first class, cabin, number 2. Oh! Who are you? A Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. I think we know... Is he... This one? Goodness. Oh, space. Oh, does he have 2 stars on him? I can't tell. They're covering for him? I don't know. We heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be absurd. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin. True, this old man does appear to be the only person in here. But in that case, who just screamed? Get out, all of you, now! Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimm's by Roylott, I believe. Yes, that's me, and you are? And you are? Goodness. Alright. Yes, oh my gosh, really? Really, you're gonna do the yes comrade thing going on right now? I am the one and only, the actual Herlock Sholmes. You've heard of me, no doubt? Nope. I'm a great detective among great detectives. One who adorns the covers of popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you must trust me completely. This man uses that magazine like a business card. Well, it pretty much is. A detective? I do not trust detectives. We distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So might I be as bold to ask you to open that small traveling case? You think that she can fit in there? What? Don't be stupid. How can anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Well, it's quite fashionable these days, it's not? Traveling inside one's trunk. So let him have it? Oh my gosh. She vented. Don't look at me. It's moving.
Oh my, did you see that, Mr. Naruto?
Yes, the case just shook. Leave now, otherwise I'll call the steward. So this is Kazuma's neighbor, Mr. Grimsby Roland. There's no doubt about it. This strange Russian man is hiding something.
I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before that burly sailor returns.
Oh boy. I know what the court record I want to save. He has a pet, probably. Well, since we know the speckled band is a snake, does he have a snake in there? Oh my gosh, that was a... last night. Mr. Royla, we'd like to talk to you about something. No. Oh. I do not want to talk. Leave my cabin now. This is going terribly.
We're not getting anywhere here.
I agree, but there may be someone else who can help. Perhaps that great detective could get somewhere with Mr. Roylet. Why is he in the closet? First, Mr. Roylet, we'd like to talk to you about something. He'll say no. Okay. Alright, so that's the same. Okay. Alright, that's enough. Alright. Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Slomes? You need only address me as Slomes. That's what I just did. Isn't it? Well, Mr. Slomes, what were you doing in there? Why, I was resting, of course. Yes, he did.
Resting?
Indeed, I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe while waiting for the inevitable time that you would need me to call my great powers of detection into service.
Oh.
And it would seem that honor is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken? Well, no, actually. You're spot on, for once. Observe closely. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Roylock, is clearly trying to hide something. And you know what it is, the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Why? The truth, of course. Though it may be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians. Right. Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it?
Oh yes, please.
Well then, what you are about to see will astound you. For I am about to apply my great detective's greatest admired great deduction to the case. Oh boy. Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? What? From time to time it occurs to me. Is the fellow's dubious on account of his Russianness, or Russian on the account of his dubiousness? I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you. Or anyone.
That's right, and Mr. Sloane's. I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but once I read, it's a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment.
Yes, that's the thing that they're saying. That's what they're telling him. Shh, I must have complete silence. Silence? Goodness. What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. Made my mind up now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. What? Using those shears, you're about to end the existence of something most dear. Are you not? Huh? And number two, the other conclusion I have drawn. You are, at this very moment no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you've been discovered. He's probably on the money, but probably not quite there. Does it not? Oh, I didn't mean to hit Otto.
Oh, Naruto-san, I never imagined I could witness one of Mr. Sloane's greatest deductions with my own eyes.
That was a great deduction?
Nothing can deceive Mr. Sloane's. In a single glance, he could deduce all there is to know about a person.
What an ineffable twaddle.
Oh yes, I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. I have now experienced the astounding impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true.
I can hardly believe it, but all the color has drained from Mr. Roylott's face. It looks like somehow both of Mr. Sloane's conclusions were right. How? How could you? How could I possibly know such a thing? Such things? You wish to say? Goodness, you wish to say? Very well then. I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So I cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us explore the train of reasoning. I'll probably do this and then end for the night. Put it plainly, let us work through my deductions together. The great deduction, the game is afoot. Old man's identity. So, the dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Roylott, obviously, what catches the eye in the first place? Is the enormous pair of scissors in your hand? Well, yeah. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You are on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. Now, moving on. The question then begging is this: why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylott? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter.
Regards, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular the fascinating front page article. Which it would appear you have read also, Mr. Roylott.
Okay, so you have that correct.
I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary Valin Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extreme copious beard.
What, you say more than you do. Ta!
Have you noted the article yourself? You decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, Valin Bolshevik. Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand.
Conclusion: a revolutionary on the run. Wrongdoing. We're still going.
Now, as for my second conclusion. You are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime? Over there. Oh yes, Mr. Roylott. Taken unawareness, people have proximity to let their eyes stray, you see.
Ah.
And I assured you the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glances falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, the traveling case. It is time, I think, that the case be opened and its contents lay bare.
No, I refuse.
What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation, a young lady, perhaps, one slightly lighted enough to fit therein.
What? Don't be absurd.
And what, pray, would be the identity of this young lady in the traveling case? Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup d'etat betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can be equally found in the pages of this newspaper. For there is another most stimulating article. If we turn from the fleeting revolutionary to the back page...
This is still going.
Renowned prima ballerina of the Vonage Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline could lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime is that of abduction. According to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavelia.
Conclusion: kidnapping of a young ballerina. Are you done?
Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this Russian enigma, Elementsky.
That'll make it look so cool if it wasn't so obvious. Yeah. Oh, that's how I feel, Ryanosuke. I have a guess on who this person is supposed to be. But I will leave that for next time. I'm gonna end for the night, because my throat is dying. So, thank you for watching the stream, and I will see you guys next time. I don't even know why they let them talk that long. Who knows? He's a narcissist.